So I know that this isn't the craziest. This isn't, I don't have different cameras set up and anything like that. I'm not in a studio, but I thought, it's better to just start filming something with my webcam, with my stream set up right now, than having nothing at all. Not that I don't mind doing the audio only portions. That's actually the only way that I personally listen to podcasts. I don't watch any podcasts on YouTube or anything, but I know that they're really good for taking clips. I know that lots of people do like to watch them, to have that visual component to them, especially when you have guests on and stuff, just kind of see the interactions and whatnot. And eventually, I do want to transform this into being like an actual podcast, like with tables set up, and maybe not like a crazy studio, but just like a little space to just chat with microphones and, different cameras. I'm looking around. I'm looking at these. I'm looking at my Canon camera and stuff. So I have a few cameras that I can use. It's just right now I don't want to set all that stuff up because I just want to start with what I have until I have like a good setup, if that makes any sense. So if you're watching live, not watching live, sorry, none of this is live. But if you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it. How's it going? If you haven't listened to the past 11 podcasts that I've done, they're available on all streaming platforms. Apple Podcasts, what else? Spotify, Anchor. There's other ones. I looked at my analytics and there's some, I don't know where people are listening to this, but a big chunk of it just says from a different source. So I don't know where that's from. But if you're watching, go listen to those other podcast episodes. Then you'll know a lot more about Lucky Dip, about myself. Mind you, this is on my personal YouTube channel, so you guys probably know a little bit about me. This is a different type of video. This is like a sit down. We just chat for about 30 minutes to an hour, depending. I usually try to go for about 45 minutes. And yeah, it's more centered around gaming, more centered around business, centered around hanging out with friends. So that's kind of what the Lucky Dip podcast is. Not every single episode is going to relate to gaming. Not every single episode is going to relate to Cryus Gaming, which I'm the co-founder of. But sometimes it will relate, because if I don't have anything else to talk about, I'll talk about it if there's any updates with the Cryus. Some of the people I have on might be from Cryus, but I also want to have it a little more open to having just talking with people in the industry, to have different topics I want to talk about and stuff. So this podcast is going to change as we go along, hopefully for the better, and it'll have more visual components to it and everything as we get going. But I thought, you know what, I've talked about this in a previous podcast, but I just want to start creating. I just want to start doing it. So the first bit of that was, let's just start the podcast. Let's just start getting audio out. And then after that, I kept thinking, I'd love to take some of these clips sometimes and like upload them, but uploading just audio doesn't really work. So if anything, what I would like to do is just take clips from this. If you're watching, and if you don't want to watch the entire thing, that's okay. Watch it in 2 times speed though. I will actually have some visual components though, since I am on my streaming setup, recording right now. I do have a few stats that I want to look at and stuff, which I'll get into the topic later. We're talking about our team, which it will be about today, is about Cryus Gaming, about our Rocket League team, because we've had a busy few weeks. I'll get into that in a second. But what was I talking about? I don't remember. All I remember saying was there will be visual components. I probably said something before that, but I don't remember. I said watch in 2 times speed. Oh yeah, clips. So for those of you who are listening, if you just enjoy listening to the podcast, that is great. But if you ever want to see some visual clips, those are also going to be up on my second channel, which is VerticalRoostr. So let me just do a quick explanation before we actually get into the meat of this podcast, which, like I said, it will be about our Rocket League team and kind of doing streaming and stuff on Cryus' Twitch channel, because we've been quite busy. But before we get to that, what I just want to say is my main channel is where this podcast, the full episode, is going to be played. So for those listening, search up Jordan Brenda and my YouTube channel pops up. For those of you watching, you're already here. Congratulations, you made it. Now, if you want to watch any clips, for those who are watching this or who are listening, go to VerticalRoostr on YouTube.